You're listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
It's a big world out there, and you're just looking for a pat on the back or head. You run around the city, searching for a place to bark, working your tail off with your nose to the ground, sniffing for a few scraps, hoping someone will throw you a bone. You take each lead, collar after collar, hoping one day to take a bite out of success and become the top dog. Fortunately, you come home each day to open arms, open cans, a drink waiting for you, and a comfortable place in front of the TV set. You know you've got it good, really good, because after all, it's a doggy dog world out there. Pet Life Radio presents It's a Doggy Dog World with your host, pet expert and award-winning author Liz Palaika, and this week's co-hosts Kate Abbott and Petra Burke.
Hi, welcome to It's a Doggy Dog World. I'm your host, Liz Palaika, and with me today are my good friends Petra Burke.
Hello.
And Kate Abbott.
Howdy.
And, you know, of course, we always talk about our dogs. Yeah, in case you haven't noticed.
we have dogs. Always with us.
We talk about our dogs. And a couple days ago, we were trying to figure out what we were going to talk about in a podcast tonight. And I don't know if Kate thought of it, or I thought of it, or she said it, and I went, yeah. But tonight we want to talk about dog quirks.
It would be Kate who brought it up, because your dogs are quirky.
And dog and owner quirks.
Yeah.
And to make it more interesting and to hear what kind of quirks your dogs have, we'd like you to email us sometime in the month of December. This is December 2014. In case months from now you're listening to old podcasts.
This contest, according to the official rules, will only be in effect until December 31st of 2014. Thank you very much.
We'd like you to email us and tell us all about your dog's quirks. Now, they can be funny, they can be weird, they can be unique, but they have to be safe. Don't tell us about quirks where people or dogs could get hurt. We don't want to hear about that. We don't want that to happen. But email us with your dog's quirks, and that's Liz at PetLifeRadio.com. And after New Year's, Petra, Kate, and I will get together and we'll go through all the emails. And I have 12 copies of my dog treat cookbook available, and we'll send out 12 of those books to 12 different people. Not 12 books to each person. One book to each person. One book to each person. But we'll send out 12 of those books, because we'd like to hear what kind of quirks your dogs have. But to give you an example, of course, my dogs don't have any quirks.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they do, I admit. And, you know, sometimes it's funny to laugh at the quirks. As long as you're aware of what's going on and your dog doesn't manipulate you too terribly much. But, Kate, you start. It was your idea.
Yeah, share.
Let's take Walter first.
Walter first. Well, Walter has a couple of ways to get what he wants. Now, he knows better than to beg. So, now, all bets are off with my roommate because she is not a dog trainer. Okay?
No, she's not. She's a very sweet lady. She's a very sweet lady.
So Walter can get away with going up and putting his chin on her knee while she's eating.
Yes.
And he, you know, I would send down a column of flame and burn him if he tried to do that to me.
Yes.
But he gets away with it with Virginia, and it works.
Couple times on our travel trips, or if we've gone out somewhere, he's tried that with me.
He'll try it and see.
Yeah.
Are you one of those I can manipulate?
Yeah.
But with me, what he does is a very pretty sit, all collected up with the front feet right in the back. And then this just adoring big brown-eyed stare, and then one front leg will just tremble.
Oh my God.
Just slightly tremble as though I'm about to faint from hunger. Surely you have a morsel for a poor fainting puppy dog.
I will say, though, it was more effective before he started to lose his vision.
Yeah, right.
When his eyes were dark and big Bambi brown eyes.
Yeah.
It was a little more effective then. Now that he started to lose his vision and his eyes are a little cloudy, it's not quite the same.
Doesn't work quite the same as he's staring at your right ear as opposed to making direct eye contact.
Yeah.
He tried.
Yeah, he's like, but this has worked in the past, and I think you're there somewhere, so I will try that.
I will look in your direction.
And if it's really not working, then the paw very slowly rises as though it weighs 15 pounds. And it's just, I'm not touching you, but I'm just waving one last wave before I go under and drown. Yeah, he's pretty dramatic that way.
Yeah, he is. He is.
But
yeah, and when he
contained.
puts his chin on your knee, it's amazing how much his head weighs.
Yes.
Yeah.
That chin is really heavy.
For a
more than
Cocker
him.
Spaniel mix, right. Yes, he can get a lot of gravity into that head.
Yeah, and push. Yeah. Now, my youngest, Bones, I discovered his latest quirk. He has a couple of quirks, but I discovered his latest just recently. He has one brown eye and one blue eye, and he has discovered that people ooh and ah over that blue eye. So now when he's trying to get something, he cocks his head and tilts it so the blue eye is towards somebody, and then he's still smiling. His mouth is open, his bright white teeth are, and he's panting, but he's showing his good side.
That's what it reminds me
Yeah.
of the movie star going, get my good side.
Because he knows people ooh over that blue eye. Well, I'm sure he doesn't realize it's a blue eye, but people ooh over that side of his face.
Right.
And so he gives that side of the face. And I just realized it, maybe a couple weeks ago, that he's doing that a lot. Mm-hmm. Now, it doesn't work as much with me because I don't care what side of his face it is.
Right.
But everybody else, he goes, here, I'm cute. Look, I'm cute.
Especially the side is cute.
It's really cute. And lots of times it works. People go, oh, not the dog trainers here, of
Right.
course,
Yeah,
but
like,
other
yeah, whatever.
people, oh, look at you.
What?
And then
Look
it's
at
always,
that blue eye.
look at
Yeah.
the blue eyes. That's
Uh-huh.
such a pretty eye.
Yes. Or is he blind in that eye?
Yeah.
But they're still paying attention to it, even if they're asking about it. So, yes,
He
I'm
got what he
talking about
wanted.
you.
Yeah. Well, Rio's quirk.
Yes.
Wow.
It's hard to, it's not like it's a learned behavior.
No.
No,
I was just born with it.
Yeah.
I was born with it.
Well, there's a lot of Aussies. There's certain lines of Aussies.
Yeah.
Grin.
Didn't have the trait.
Grin. Dax did it a lot.
Care Bear did it a lot.
Care Bear did it a lot.
But Rio
Does
does
it
it like I
lots.
have never seen before. When Rio grins, if people will all of a sudden like stop and stare, like, do I breathe? Do I move? He's going to attack me.
He went rabid in 2 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. His grin, he curls up those lips and is like gum
He
and
squishes
teeth.
his nose so much that he can barely breathe.
So he snorts when he grins, and then he sneezes because he wrinkles his nose so much. So he's snorting and grinning and sneezing.
and
like,
the
all at
rest
the
of
same
his
time.
body's going 99 miles an hour as he's going wiggle, 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 dance, 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 wiggle, 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 wiggle.
Yeah. And he's gotten to a point, and I'll sit there, and if I'm pretending I'm ignoring him, I can just hear him come up because you hear the snorting and this just weird, scary noise. If you don't know what it is, it doesn't sound very well, very good. But then if you look at him, he'll freeze. Your first look, he freezes, and he freezes in a grin. And his whole body goes frozen. And then you start laughing, and everything vibrates, and he snorts, and he sneezes, and he grins, and all that vibrates again.
He does
Yeah.
rather look like warning guard dog sign picture.
If
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
if you're just looking at the face and not
Yeah.
the body,
Yeah, just
The body language.
Yeah. But he does it no matter what. I could be sitting there doing something, working on the computer, watching TV. He wants attention. He comes with a big old grin. Here at class, he'll sit there and people are, looking and listening to us, and they just say Rio in the background with a big old grin and vibrating and snorting and sneezing.
And you can tell because the students' eyes start getting big. Oh my God, that dog back there is about to attack someone.
or explode.
Every once in a while, you get somebody who's familiar with the grin of a dog, and they're like, he really smiles, doesn't he? Yeah, he does. Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know, the kind of grin we're talking about it's actually physically it's a snarl, but it's called a displacement action. And certain dogs, and it's common in a lot of Australian Shepherds, Dobermans, Dalmatians. What other breeds have we seen?
I've seen, I don't know if it's Bichons or a mix of, I've seen a few of them do it.
Okay. But anyway, it's
recently.
a snarl that's used incorrectly. It's used when the dog is excited or happy. My 2 Aussies, Care Bear and Dax, did it when they were happy or really, really excited. Riker did it maybe 10 times in his whole life, and he had to be really, really excited. And then he only did it on half his mouth instead of the full mouth. Rio has the biggest full mouth snarl
At the drop of a hat.
smile that I have ever seen in my life.
It doesn't take much.
No.
No. And it's like all gum, teeth, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then some.
To the point his poor little nose.
I know. Yes. Yes.
Decades ago, I knew a Doberman that would do it. Yeah. And I think actually they did use him as a picture for a guard dog sign.
Well, we've used Rio
Yeah.
in your books.
Yeah.
Snarl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Years ago, Paul and I had a neighbor. We were in base housing on Marine Corps Base Camp Pendleton, and one of our neighbors had a Doberman who smiled. I don't remember her name. She was a very, very pretty, petite, black and rust Dobie. Very, very nice dog. And the gentleman got married. And one day I was out so the dog came first, then the wife. One day they lived across the street from us, and one day I was out in the front yard, and I heard her yelling at me. She had locked herself in the bedroom, and she was hollering out the front window when she saw me. She said, the dog is going to attack me.
Because you know Dobermans turn on their owners.
Yeah, and I went, I can't imagine that. But I'm thinking to myself, okay, maybe she's jealous. And I said, is the front door locked? And she said, no, come in, quick, get her for me. So I went in, and the dog was just grinning to beat the band to see me. She was so happy. But I grabbed her collar, and I called to the woman and said, okay, I've got her. And she came out, and the dog's grinning, and she goes, oh my gosh, she's going to attack you. No, she's happy. She's smiling. No, she's not. She's smiling.
So the boyfriend, husband, whoever he was, failed to
or
mention this?
Or she didn't understand. One of the two.
Oh my gosh.
But I did. I brought out some dog cookies and had the dog sit, and then I held up a cookie and said, do you want this? Grin. And I gave her the cookie, and then I had the wife do it, ask her to sit, and she's going, just ask her to sit. She sat. I said, show her the cookie. Grin. And then she went, oh. But yeah, it scared her.
Yeah.
Scared her.
Well, so if you don't know, I mean, if you saw Rio's head just in like a
Yes.
hole through a piece of wood,
Right.
and he did that,
Sure.
you wouldn't know.
Especially as it doesn't take more than 5 minutes of him running before he gets saliva drooling from all corners of his mouth.
Then you've got, yeah.
And that just adds
He's
to
a
the
rabbit
picture.
dog, yeah. Yeah. Poor Rio. So stick with us. We'll be right back.
Sit. Stay. It's a doggy dog world. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
There's nothing more delicious and healthy than an old family recipe. And for over 50 years, our family's been creating them especially for your pets. Nutrisource Super Premium Pet Foods. Dog and cat food that's all natural, holistic, and organic. Nutrisource Pet Foods contain our patented Good for Life system for your pet's optimum health and well-being. So order now. Safe quality food made by our family for your furry family members. Go to NutrisourcePetFoods.com.
From our family to yours, KLN Family Brands.
Pet Life Radio, the #1 pet radio network on the planet, joins forces with iHeartRadio to put the power of your pets in your pocket. Awesome. Download the iHeartRadio app and rock Pet Life Radio on your phone, on your tablet, on your Xbox, in your car. Pet talk, pet tunes, and fun pet times. Pet Life Radio and iHeartRadio. Positively Possum.
It's DesignerPetSweaters.com, the latest fashion trends for our furry friends. Hand-knitted designer sweaters for your precious pup or cool cat. Beautiful couture patterns for your pets, including custom-knitted formal wear, casual wear, yachting, and even sports themed. Many designer pet sweaters include feathered Tammy hats, top hats, and a lot of sparkle. Each sweater includes leg loops, front paw sleeves, and leash opening. Visit designerpetsweaters.com to order your four-legged fashions today. Your pets will stay warm for the winter and be runway ready. Large or small, we fit them all. designerpetsweaters.com.
Hi, this is Teody Anderson, and I'm the host of Get Positive Results on Pet Life Radio. We're going to talk about a variety of topics on canine behavior and training, all based on modern methods that are fun for you and your dog. We might be talking about other critters too, so join us on Get Positive Results. We'll talk about common issues between you and your dog, answer your questions, discuss different activities you can do with your dog, and keep you posted on current canine news and products. All this on Get Positive Results on Pet Life Radio.
We know you're begging for more. So back to It's a Doggy Dog World with your fetching hosts, Liz Palika, and this week's co-hosts, Kate Abbott and Petra Burke.
Welcome back to It's a Doggy Dog World. All right, next quirk. Okay, let's go to your terrier. It's your turn again.
Quillaroo. Quill, my love. Yeah, his,
Quill's a Jack Russell Terrier.
Jack Russell Terrier, and he's a great therapy dog, which is lovely. But even before he was a therapy dog, if he wants something, his way to get it is to worm his way up next to you and
or run up
mash.
the front of you.
Yeah, or on your lap, up the front.
And mash his cheek against a body part.
Yeah.
Usually the mouth and nose, so you can't breathe.
If he really knows you well. He goes
Suffocate
right
you.
for the face.
Boom, right
Yes.
in the face.
Yes.
Yeah.
And actually he was doing that earlier, and I kept my eyes open and I looked, and it was rather like being eye to eye with a shark, because his eye was right there next to mine. You know, I'm like, what do you want? And this big eye is, oh, I know, I was taking a nap. He wanted me to wake up. So he was mashing on my face, but not a face-to-face lip-on, but just the side of his face, the cheek. He just mashes into you. And then he goes still and he waits. And if there's no response, he mashes harder. And then he goes still and waits.
He's the weirdest dog.
Yes. And if he can get in your lap to do it. But he did it the other day to your Aunt Rosie. He was mashing on her leg.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He wanted her to pet him.
Uh-huh.
And he was dancing in front of her and being all just man about town. Hello there. And she went, walked on past. No, really, you must say hi to me. And he
Of course,
danced
it
around
didn't
in front of
hurt
her.
that she was carrying a kitchen trash bag out to the
Well, this
trash
is on the
can,
way
but-
back, though. On the way
Well,
out
but
to
he
the
did it
trash.
on the way
Yes.
out, too.
On the way to the trash, he trotted along happily. Oh, good, you're bringing me a snack.
Yeah.
And when she came back without the bag of food, he's just wanted to be said hi to. So
Yeah.
on the third run around her, because she was like, stepped around him and kept walking. Third run around, he walked, said hi, and mashed his face against her leg. And that's what forced her to go, fine. Lean down and say, nice to see you. How are you? Fine, good. And then come over to me and go, that one, he's cute. And we'll go. Yeah.
Little Italian lady.
Yeah.
That's all the excitement you're going to get.
So, Walter, if he's really after something, can be pawy. Use his paw and come on, give it to me and paw at you, which is annoying. But Quill's never been that way. It's that face mash. It's that full body press if he has to. So I don't know. I mean, by getting a terrier, I've kind of gone over to the dark side here,
Yeah, you
I'm
have.
surrounded by herding dogs and a few sporting dogs. But so I'm not sure how common that is with terriers. But it's the first dog that I've ever experienced that does this face mash thing.
I have to admit, I'm not a terrier person, but I've known people with terriers, and
The only other terrier, Jack Russell, is Katie's dog.
Right.
And he's probably the only one, and he doesn't do it to everybody. He would do it to me. He wouldn't do it to Katie's mom.
who, Jasper?
Jasper.
Oh, okay.
So and he will come. He won't do it in the face, but he'll do the same
Mash.
body head thing on your chest, your shoulder.
Ah.
And she named it, so she's like hugs.
Okay.
And then you actually can call like, Jasper, give me a hug, and he'll jump on you and he'll do the body head smash. Into
Okay,
you.
so it's natural for Jack Russell's, but yours tries to suffocate people.
yeah,
when they touch it.
exactly. Yeah. Yours takes it one step more.
Gee, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's done that all along.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, my quirk is I find it endearing.
I don't, but he learns that. He does it to me, and I tell him to knock it off, and I get ready to push him off my lap, and then he'll stop.
And there have been times you and I have been talking, and he'll be doing it to me, and I can see her fuse going, and all of a sudden she'll be like, I can't hear you, your dog's face is in the way.
Well, you're mumbling behind dog's head's in the way.
Right.
It doesn't go through his ears well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, if a quirk is endearing enough, I guess it does get to continue.
It's rewarded, yeah.
It's cute. I kind of like it. I kiss the side of his face.
Is Walter just put his chin on my knee?
You talking about that, Terry?
I can be endearing, too. Yeah.
Well, and if we're going to talk about quirks that can be not always so endearing, Bashir's bossy.
No.
Is that a quirk or a learned behavior from his mother?
Oh, I think it's a learned behavior.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Bashir's the playground supervisor, self-appointed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I do think some of it came about from him trying to protect Walter.
Yeah. Walter and Bashir grew up together, and Walter, in addition to being physically smaller and all the above, is a hot-headed temper. So Bashir would need to protect his brother from another mother from the consequences of his own temper. Yeah, and do drive-thrus.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
If Walter's throwing a temper tantrum with another dog, Bashir will just put himself in between, usually with some whining. I know there's a problem here, but knock it off. He is very tolerant of Walter, because sometimes when he does those drive-thrus, Walter redirects onto him. And only a few times has Bashir actually corrected Walter. And I'm sure that's when Walter's connected. But most of the time, he just goes in between and says to everybody, come on, guys, come on. But then he took that on, and he doesn't like fusses.
No.
Bashir doesn't like fusses. And if there's fusses with any of the trainer's dogs, he'll get in the middle of it. And then in class, if we have a dog who's throwing a temper tantrum, if one of the trainers takes that dog, then Bashir's in the trainer's area in the center of the yard and starts with a woof.
Do you need me?
And woof.
I'm right here. I'm ready to come.
And then woof, woof.
Okay, I can help you. I can take care of this problem.
Yeah. And then, we're telling him, Bashir, knock it off. We can handle it. Thank you. And woof, you sure?
Yeah.
So my theme for Bashir is, if he had thumbs, he would rule the world.
Try to anyway.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's been on his Christmas list for, let's see, 10 years now.
Yeah.
Keep asking for thumbs.
All he wants for Christmas are thumbs.
Yep.
It isn't, how much is genetics, how much is learned behavior, but
then
personalities.
Reinforced, yeah.
Which is true for humans, too.
Yeah. Well, we have used Bashir's talents, shall we say, with puppies.
Yeah.
If we've got puppies in puppy play, or puppies that are not understanding human communication and need to learn to accept no, for example. Not always the word no, but that they can't do something. We have brought Bashir down and let the puppy throw a temper tantrum and let Bashir just say no, knock it off.
Right.
Because he'll be calm about it, often loud, but calm, and very clear without hurting the puppy or scaring the puppy. And usually it's just minutes before the puppy says, oh, oops.
Okay, got the message now.
Yeah. Well, why didn't you say so?
Right.
I didn't know that's what you were saying.
Quirks are fun things. When I was younger, much, much younger.
In a galaxy far, far away.
When I was a child.
I think that's still too close.
Ooh. Ooh.
Got your glasses on? Okay. I actually had a decent Pekingese. He was able to run alongside my bike with me.
Yeah, that was years ago.
It was years ago. But, an indoor dog. We lived in base housing generally, and there wasn't always a lot of yard. Anyway, his quirk was to be given a treat. He would go bury it in the sofa pillows.
Oh, one of my
yeah,
mom's poodles did that years
Yeah.
ago. You'd
Yeah,
sit
we used
down
to
and,
have a dog,
and
too.
be careful what you sat on because there could be some half chewed or half gummed.
And it wasn't an easy process. You know, he would spend good 20 minutes digging that hole, moving those pillows around, and then recovering.
Okay, so I forgot that. Bashir will do that with favorite things.
Ah.
I will go out in the back.
Oh, I've seen that one at your house, and we're like, don't watch him because he's hiding
Yes.
something.
Bashir will take, if there's an unchewed treat or a food dispensing toy, he's gotten all the food out of it, but that's a special toy. So he will go out in the yard or go to one of my big potted plants, and he will nose a hole, always with his nose, not his paw, and then he'll plant the toy.
Right.
And then nose the dirt back over it, kind of, sort of, maybe, kind of covering it. But then he won't leave it. He'll stand there and go, la-di-da, there's no toy here, don't look at this. And if you look at it, he'll take it and go, okay, I need to find another spot.
Yeah, he's done that in your house, too.
Yes,
We were
he's
sitting in the
done it.
living room, and all of a sudden, if we don't look, he's okay. But the second we look, we're like, there it is.
Darn it, now I need to find a better spot.
Goes and grabs it, moves it somewhere else.
But he just stands there going, la-di-da, don't look here. Don't look at my toy, la-di-da. It's very funny because it's really not hidden. It's only
No, exactly.
kind of sort of hidden. And then he stands, not even guard over it. It's like, don't look, don't look.
Yeah.
I am being nonchalant. Do you
Yes.
notice how nonchalant I'm being?
Yeah.
Exactly that.
And so every once in a while I go out in the backyard and find all the hidden food dispensing toys and shake them out and put them through the dishwasher. And and he still does it. Even now at 10 and a half, I went out this morning and picked up about 3 toys.
Which, you know, wild dog behavior, you've got excess food, you cache it for future, but there's still that instinct.
And he's got 2 younger brothers who would like to take his food dispensing toys away if they could. They don't,
Right.
they can't, but they're there and they're watching, so... Yeah.
Oh, you know what I was just thinking? With Poncho, he's only, 8? Yeah. Oh, he's 8 months old today. Hey.
Congratulations,
dude.
little boy.
Drum roll.
So even at his young age, he has a quirk. And I think you noticed it when we were camping. He likes to sit on things. He's much more comfortable. He sits on things. He sat on Bones' front feet.
That's right.
He had
And
the
he
whole
sat-
area.
Well, and it's not just comfort, though. He sat on his back legs on the ground and his butt on the ledge of concrete.
Yeah.
That
He sat on
wasn't
that.
particularly comfortable, but
But it was like a
just,
little bit of a seat, so he sat there.
And then one time he sat on my foot.
And if he's on the couch with me at home, he sits on the armrest of the couch. Or if there's a pillow, he'll sit on the pillow.
Well,
You don't have anything, or on the dog bed, but if there's nothing there, he's sat on Rio so many times. Rio will be laying down sleeping. He backs up and sits on Rio, and he sits there and he just looks at you.
Obviously, you need to
people-
carry around a
people
pillow
sit.
for him.
I guess.
people sit on stuff, you know.
But that's just, and if he's in the bathroom while I'm getting ready for work, one of the little palm dog breads, he'll sit on that.
Do you have a very sensitive butt?
It's free. He's got a lot of cushion back there. I'm really sure. But that's just one of his
Aw.
weird quirks is this little young age, and he did it since I got him. So at 10 weeks old,
Always sitting on
he
something.
prefers, and he will back up. It's quite obvious. Like, oh, where's a pillow? I'm going to back up. Sit down. He just looks around.
Even another dog's paws.
Maybe his man parts need cushions.
Is that it? Oh, poor boy.
No. Silly boy. Yeah. So,
But if we're talking about quirks, there's Keely.
yeah.
Keely is Petra's oldest Pomeranian.
Her
And-
alias is known as the Wolverine.
Or Tasmanian Devil.
Yeah.
Or,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. She has a lot of quirks. She's just a quirky girl.
That's one euphemism for it. Yes.
Yeah.
Let's just say even Bashir is afraid of Keely.
Yes.
And one of the few times I've held Keely, I was holding Keely, and I thought Bashir was going to die. Put her down, Mom. Put her down, put her down, put her down.
Before she eats your face.
She had never, all her life, she had never figured a way of communication using different tones. You know, like dogs whine. You can hear Rio in the background. Or dogs
Talking.
moan. Or dogs like talk. I mean, you know, we hear all our dogs do that. Not Keely. She kind of always had a growl. And now I've gotten to understand what the growls are. I know when it's a good growl.
You made me jump.
I know when it's a good growl. I know when it's a comfortable, happy growl. I know when she's ticked off growl or don't touch me growl. But there are so many different tones. I'm the only one who's figured out what they are. So people will pet her and they'll pet her and stop. And I go, oh no, that's her happy growl. How are you supposed to say happy growl?
Okay, so your Pomeranian is growling at them, and your Australian Shepherd is snarling at them. No wonder people are paranoid. No, they're both really happy. They're really happy. Really?
He's not snarling. He's happy.
He's grinning. Yeah. She's not growling. She's happy. Sure.
But the problem is sometimes she's not happy.
Yeah, I can tell you when she's not happy. Yeah.
It sounds all the same.
Exactly. But there isn't. There's just a little
bit of difference.
Yes. After 9 years, you figured it out.
It must be like Melissa's little rat terrier, Dinky. You know, Dinky has barks that after... How old is Dinky now? 14? 15?
13 or 14? Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, she and Melissa have been together all these times, and so Dinky gives a yip, yap, yip, and more than once somebody's turned around and said, what does she want? And Melissa goes, oh, well, she wants this and this and this and this. So
like, huh?
she knows every single yip.
Yeah, well,
knows
and
tone,
she's a demanding little thing, too.
Mm-hmm. And what does she want now? Oh, nothing. She's just yipping because she's happy. Okay. Right.
Sound like the same one a minute ago.
Or the one where she's mad because she's happy. She has nothing to complain about, so she's going to complain about nothing. I'm like, really? You got all that out of one yip? And she goes, oh, yes. She's very complex in her yips. Okay.
Keely's complex in her growls.
Yeah.
Dinky in her yips.
Yeah, in her yips.
Yeah. Quirks.
Do we count curling up in a water bowl as a quirk?
Oh, that's a quirk.
Because
that's Toby.
I have never seen a dog able to curl up in a small place.
As long as there's water in it, right?
If there is a bucket of water, what is he, 45, 50 pounds?
60.
60 pounds.
60.
Like an obsession.
60 pounds, a long-legged English Shepherd, and he can curl up in like a, what is that, a wash basin?
Oh, yeah, the one out there. Yeah,
galvanized tub.
Round.
Yeah.
Galvanized. Yeah.
If it's water, he'll curl up in it. Of course, he's just plain got a thing about water anyway.
Yeah.
It could be cold. It could
Saturday,
be rainy.
it was chilly. It didn't really get that warm. And we had 2 buckets of water out for the trainer's dogs to drink. And I turned around and he had his front feet in one and his back feet in another. Which kind of teased me off because then we have to dump it and get new water because the dogs shouldn't have to drink his
foot water.
And as soon as I had it filled with clean water, he did it again.
Or when he just lays in it, you just fill it with clean water. And he curls up, lays down, boom.
Yeah.
And he'll lay there for a while.
For a supposedly non-water sporting breed.
Yeah.
I have never seen a dog who gets so wet that he actually smells like mildew.
Yeah. And she has to rinse him with vinegar water.
Yeah, to get mildew out of him.
Yeah.
He just loves to stay wet.
Yeah. I'd give him a buzz cut.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's all coming off. Yep.
And she does trim him because of that.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
But his ability to curl up
in a little bitty
spot.
In a little
tiny thing of water. Yes.
Yeah, water.
We should almost, check him someday and just keep trying smaller and smaller. How small can he go? How much can he play? Yeah.
Oh well, so you've heard our confessions,
our dog quirks
for our dog's quirks. So now we want to hear from you. Send us an email, liz@petliferadio.com, and tell us all about your dog's quirks. As long as they're safe for dogs and people, and we don't want anybody getting hurt. And you've got until midnight December 31st, New Year's, and then we'll get together after
2014.
Well, 14.
2014.
We'll get together the first week of January, and we'll pick 12 people, and we'll send you an email back, notify you, and then we'll put some books in the mail.
And I really can't wait. It's been, ever since we started doing these podcasts and we're getting more and more emails, it is both exciting and humbling to get emails from Switzerland, Japan,
South Africa, New
Australia,
Zealand,
yeah.
Australia,
China. Yeah.
Lots of them from Europe. We're in San
like,
Diego.
wow.
We're in San Diego,
Wow.
California, and have been teaching classes here for many, many years. In fact, this is our 30th year
Yeah.
in San Diego County, which is kind of
Scary.
scary in its own right.
Yeah.
right?
But it's so much fun to hear from people all over the world, and people who, like us, love dogs, love to do things with their dogs, and
we're
it's
learning a
great.
lot from our listeners sending us emails from around.
Right?
Yeah.
A little different perspective from other countries, which is
Uh-huh.
just fascinating.
Right? Yeah.
So keep them
love
coming.
Yeah. We'd love to hear from you.
All right. That's it. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Having a rough day? Longing for the dog days of summer? Think your fun furry friend lives a dog's life? Well, find out everything you're begging to know as Pet Life Radio presents It's a Doggy Dog World with pet expert and award-winning author Liz Palaika. Every dog has his day, and you'll find out how to make your dog's day fun and rewarding. Every week, on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.